Alright guys, let's start off in your notebook and let's work out this problem together. Could you guys write this down, and then if you want to just hit pause and try to solve it on your own. This is stuff we've been doing for the last 2 days, and I want to make sure you're good at this part. Okay, so your first step is to go ahead and add down. As you do that, you get 0x, 9y, and 1 and negative 10. They're different signs, so you're going to subtract. It's war, not peace, and it's going to be negative 9. So now you look at that and you're going to solve this equation because this gets eliminated. 0x gets eliminated. Now at that point, you're going to divide 9. Negative 9 over positive 9 is going to equal negative 1. And that's part of your answer, negative 1. And now that's the easy part. And if you're struggling with the next part, you're going to have to take this negative 1, which is a y, and plug it in whatever, and we're going to use the top equation because I've been telling you. You could use the bottom one even too if you wanted to, but I've been telling you use the top equation, rewrite it, and instead of having y there, we're going to take y out of there. We're going to replace it with negative 1. Okay, that negative 1 is going to go right where that y is. So let me go ahead and rewrite the equation up here. Negative 6x plus 5. Instead of having the y there, I'm going to put negative 1 equals 1. Now let's just go ahead and solve this equation. Negative 6x minus 5, because 5 times negative 1, equals 1. You're going to add 5 to both sides. You get negative 6x equals 6. Divide negative 6, run out of room here. Divide negative 6. Negative 6 over 6 is going to be x equals negative 1. So if you wrote this out as a coordinate, negative 1 would be your coordinate. This is all review, but I want to make sure you have a good understanding of this because the next step we're going to level up on the next slide right here. Okay, go ahead and write this one down in your notes. This looks like you could do the same thing, but I'm going to show you why you can't. This is the next level we have to get to, and it's a little confusing, but really once you get the hang of it, I know I say that a lot, but this isn't too difficult once you get the whole idea, the concept of what's happening. So if I was to do what we normally do, and we're going to go ahead and add down 15x, right, plus when I add these down, this is going to be 2 plus 2, right? So that's just going to be 4. 4y equals, this is going to be, what, 54. Now before, we would always have a 0x or a 0y. We notice that we don't have that for x, we have 15. For y, we have 4. Okay? That is not okay. We have to be able to have one of the variables gone. If one of the variables is gone, then we can solve for the other one, but we don't. So we can do something to this problem, we can change it, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be able to do. So we're going to look at this problem again, and if you wrote on it already, can you just rewrite the problem again, because I want you to see what's happening here. When I look at this problem, and I notice I have 8x, 2y, and 30. Either equation, I told you, you can't get 0y from here. You can't. But you're almost close to 0y. What would work here for 0y? If it was 2y, and if the bottom was negative 2y, correct? Then you would have gotten 0y. That would have worked out. But we didn't have that. So in algebra, you're allowed to take this whole equation and you could change it. You could change this whole equation, or you could change this whole equation as long as you were able to multiply the whole equation by the same number. If you multiply the whole equation by the same number, you can change it. And let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply the whole equation by, I'm going to put parentheses, and I'm literally going to go ahead and I'm going to do a triple dolphin jump. And I'm going to multiply the whole equation by negative 1. So go ahead and just stay with me here, guys. as I do that, I'm going to jump there, jump there, jump there. So negative 1 times 8x is going to be negative 8x. Negative 1 times 2 is going to be negative 2x. Negative 1 times the 30 is going to be negative 30. Okay? We've changed that equation, and now we're going to use this equation instead of this one. So I'm going to cross this one out. That's no longer the one we're going to use. We've changed it. And we're allowed to do that in algebra. As long as you did it to every term in the problem, you're allowed to do that. So now, I look at my problem, and I'm going to go ahead and add down to what I have here. So I have positive 7, negative 8. That's going to be negative 1x, adding down, plus, oops, this isn't an x. I put x there. And really, it should have been a y, obviously. And then 2y, negative 2y is going to be 0y. And 24 and negative 30 is going to be negative 6. So again, to rewind this a little, I changed my equation by multiplying everything by negative 1. Now my terms, they basically all just switched signs, didn't they? So now I have this 2y that I can cancel out. That's perfect because now my equation is able to be solved. Negative 1x equals negative 6 to divide negative 1. Well, negative 6 over negative 1 is going to be positive 6. And there's my answer for x. Hopefully we're strong enough to know that we're going to take this x and we're going to plug it in right there. And I'm going to try to squeeze it in right here. I know 7 times 6 is 42. Plus 2y equals 24. I'm going to subtract 42 to both sides. 42 and 24. It's going to be negative 18. Divide 2. Y equals negative 9. Okay? Now, we're going to do one more like this, and then I'm going to have you guys start working on your homework as well. The sub has the homework. If she has trouble finding it, it's on the front table. I think it's green. It's on my little teaching table in the front. It's a packet of, probably about 100 sheets of the green sheets of systems just like this. Alright, so this is one from your homework actually, and I want you to take a look at it, and as you add down, you're going to see negative 6x, negative 18y, and negative, what is that going to be, 48. And we notice again, this is not good because we don't have a 0x, we don't have a 0y. We have to change this whole problem again like we've been doing. We have to look at our equation and start changing things up, okay? So as we do that, let me go back and rewind this, just so I wanted to show you that it wasn't going to work. We have to, let me take this equation back up here. We have to now multiply the equation by something. I'm going to choose the bottom one again. And what am I going to multiply it by? I notice again, this is similar that I can do this, and we're only going to work on multiplying it by this negative 1 today. If I multiply this by negative 1, notice what's going to happen. You're going to get positive 4x, positive 4x, positive 9y, and positive 23. And why did that all happen? Because negative times a negative is a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. And again, in algebra, we are allowed to multiply the whole equation by a number, and it will allow us to change the whole equation. And I want you guys to start getting that in your head. We're going to talk more about this on Friday, but I want you to get that in your head. Now from there, I want you to go ahead and solve it. You're going to get 2x, because positive 4 and negative 2. You're going to get 0y, and you're going to get negative 2. 2x and negative 2, x equals negative 1, okay? From there now, you're going to take this x and you're going to plug it back into the problem. We know how to do this. Hopefully we're getting better at this. I'm going to rewrite it over here. Negative 2 times negative 1. I'm going to write that as positive 2. Minus 9y equals negative 25. I'm going to subtract 2 here. Negative 9y equals negative 27. Divide the negative 9. Y is going to equal positive 3. Okay? I would like you to try to finish a lot of that homework in class. If you want to work with a partner, that's fine. I will be back by lunchtime today. There was just some personal things I had to get taken care of this morning that was unplanned, such as life. So I want you guys to do as much as you can on this for me. Hopefully you hit pause throughout this video and hopefully watch it again to help you.